Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Dane. I'm over at ZIMM'S Guitars in Mesa, Arizona. And today I got to restring a guitar, and this is a very unique one. I thought I would share this with you guys. Let's get started. Here we go. Okay, so on the bench today, this is a Heartfield EX2 by Fender guitars. Believe it or not, this is a Fender. Look at the headstock with the EX2 on there. We've got the full floating Floyd Rose guitar with the whole thing. This guitar was from 1989. And I'm trying to look at the, let me turn the light on so I can see the serial number and everything on the back here. Oh yeah, E89, made in Japan. Yeah, so looking at the serial number on the back of the headstock here, E89, made in Japan. So this is really a unique guitar. 1989, they were really into the rock stuff. You got the 2-point trem. They were trying to compete with Charvel and Jackson and all that kind of stuff. You got little mini toggle switches on here. We're going to have to, let's plug this thing in. I'm going to test on it and test these electronics on it, and let's just see if we can figure out. Three-way switch, little scratchiness in there. I can spray that out. Put a little bit of spray down in there. Let's get that three-way switch to sound good. Okay, so you got a main volume. You got a second main volume. Okay. And then we've got a tone. Alright, so this is a three-way switch. Yeah, your guess is as good as mine on what these switches are doing. I'm going to guess that this one is splitting the humbucker back here. So let's try this. Okay. Yeah, so when it's in the forward position, I believe you're just getting a single coil right here. Because these pull pieces seem really hot, and then these are quieter, right? And then all the way back. Oh, that's a three-way switch. They are three-way switches. We're experimenting together, guys. So, leave me some comments. Let me know what you guys think. What are the toggle switches doing? Now, it does take a battery, so is there some sort of a boost or something that it has in there? Okay, before we take the strings off of it, let's look at the neck and see if there's any relief in there. And this is the long scale guitar, and this neck looks really straight. I don't see any back bow on it. It looks good right there. I don't think I'm going to adjust that truss rod. So let's to hold the trem in place, I'm going to stick this little eraser underneath that, and that'll hold that trem right there. And then I can go ahead and take all these strings off of here, starting with the 3 locking nuts. Woo! These babies are tight. You don't need to tighten them that tight. Okay. Oh, man. Yeah, I think they had those things over tightened. I've seen them actually break the string right here under the nut if you over tighten them. Dang. Dang, bro. Alright. So we can loosen all the strings because I have that eraser stuck underneath there. So this is a customer's guitar, and he asked me to just do a simple restring to it and to clean on it a little bit. And because it's a unique guitar that I've never seen before, we agreed that it's okay for me to do a YouTube video on this thing, just so you guys can get some eyeballs on this guitar. Because again, an EX2, a very strange Japanese guitar from Fender, Japan. I bet these babies were really expensive when they first came out. Give me a minute to get all of these strings off of here. Okay, so to start the cleanup on the neck, we're going to use some of this Music Nomad F1 oil. And scrub on this fingerboard a little bit. I have a sponge. Just let this stuff soak in a little bit. And this isn't intended to stay on here all nice and thick and everything. This stuff is intended to help you clean the fingerboard. It hydrates it. It loosens up all that, dirt that was on your fingers the whole time you were playing all those years. And it just helps in the cleanup process. So you let that set on there for a little while. And then I have some, we're going to use some Gibson guitar polish on this one. And a microfiber cloth. And it says to spray on a cloth. And I think you can spray it on the guitar too. And we're just going to wipe this baby down nice and clean. You always try to clean the guitars when they're on the bench. The customer really appreciates it when you get a nice, you restring their guitar and it ends up looking nice and new when it's all done. Yeah, so back in the day, they put all these little switches on these guitars. And honestly, they make such, in my opinion, there's not much of tone variations to them. It just sort of complicates them. Those old BC Riches that had all types of different toggle switches and everything. What was the guy's name that worked for BC Rich that did that? But man, I don't really understand wanting all those little mini toggles and everything to give you little tiny tone differences. Oh yeah, Neil Moser, that was his name. Worked for BC Rich, made those bitch 10-string guitars and did all the wiring in those things. The average guitar player doesn't know what all those little toggle switches do. And usually they don't use them, and I think that's why we're not seeing them on modern guitars nowadays, because the little switches, they were just confusing and they didn't really do much. So that's just my opinion on that kind of stuff. There we go. She's cleaner. The frets look like they're in good condition. I don't see any fret wear. I'm not going to mess with the frets. I'm just going to throw a set of strings on it. Today's string choice. Alright, today's string choice is brought to you by Carolyn Torres over at GHS Corporation in Springfield, Minnesota. Carol sent me some GHS guitar gloss. Ooh, love it. Thank you for that. Look at this. It looks like she put it in a plastic container that held the bass guitar strings. Yeah, so I got myself some GHS guitar gloss. No cloudy buildup with that, it says. And then Carolyn was nice enough to send me a few other things here. So we got some stickers, and we got 2 packs of GHS burnished nickel rockers, round wound polished pure nickel. Am I pronouncing that right? Burnished? Okay, I'm going to go with it. 10 through 46. Brand new from GHS. So here we go. Let's dig into this. And again, thank you. What's her name? Carolyn Torres, that works for GHS. Let's dig into this and put some of these GHS. I know that GHS boomers were a big thing back in the day. They're still in business. GHS is still rocking. Still making guitar strings. Every string is individually packaged so that they stay moisture free, so there's no rusting. Because your strings will rust in the packaging if it's not airtight. So it's a great idea on GHS to package their strings that way. Okay, I'm going to cut the end off there. I'm going to run it through here. And let's turn this way so I can come in straight on it. Oh, these strings do look nice and polished. And then we'll come back down here to this end. We'll loosen this up right here. Shove the string down in there so it's nice and tight. And then snug this tight. And don't over snug. But see that? That should be good right there. That string is in there nice and tight. Just make sure that they're centered over in the saddle just perfectly. Come up here and just tighten on it. Now, you know, there's a couple of guys that say, dang, your restring videos, they don't get very many views. And I'm like, you know what? It's okay, because I sat back here, restring guitars, and it kind of gives me somebody to talk to. So I've got my audience that watches. Even if we only get a couple thousand views, that's okay. Once in a while, a restring video will do crazy numbers. Most of the time they're at, you know, just a couple thousand views, but that's okay, because this work needs to be done. Very nice. Okay, let me put the other 4 on now, bring it back in. Okay guys, so I got the strings on it. I've set the locking tuners back in place up there. Take 2, start now. Okay guys, so I got the strings on it, but what I'm going to do is, the bridge is setting up just a little bit high. I want it to be down a little bit. So I'm going to take the back plate off here, and I'm going to tighten the claw just a little tiny bit. Okay, so really cool how I'm noticing that the springs are down in the block, and they have a screw holding them down in there. So really nice Japanese quality here. So let's snug this down a little bit. And I always look and make sure that we have equal distance here. Just thinking that I want the same amount of tension on each side. So we've got that down a little bit. Now let's tune it back up, and let's see how the whole thing's laying there. Okay, so I got it all tuned up, and the bridge looks like it's laying nice and flat now. It's laying there good. And so I'm going to go right ahead and put the back plate back on it. Okay, let's throw it up here. See how it feels. It's got 10 gauge strings on it now. Let's take it up front. Let's plug it in. Let's see what she sounds like. Here we go. All right, guys. So I've got this thing all strung up, and I haven't cut the string ends off yet. Sometimes I kind of figure if you wait for your customer to come in and then you cut these off, they're pretty much like they're guaranteed that there are new strings on the guitar, right? Because he's dropped this thing off. I've had this guitar for about a week or so now. Let's see what she sounds like. Gonna add just a tiny bit of volume. So it plays very nice. I'm gonna mess around with these switches again a little bit more. All right, I'm gonna see if you guys can hear a difference. Now I know I have a high gain setting, and that might screw us up. I'm playing through that little Fender Cyber Deluxe down there, old modeling amp. And I don't have the string locks down yet and tightened up. So this is just sort of your way of part of the setup is playing the guitar, seeing how it feels under your fingers. You know, it's all part of it. If you spend a couple of minutes playing the guitar, I think it helps. I think your customer will appreciate it. Brand new strings are going to stretch out a little bit. The action might be a little bit low. The neck is really straight. You might want to add just a touch of relief to the neck because it's really straight, or maybe I can see just a tiny bit of back bow in there. But this belongs to a friend of mine, and his name is Jim. So Jim, basically, I think I got your guitar ready. Come and pick this thing up. Again, it's a very unique Fender. I've never seen one. I wanted you guys to share this with me, so there you guys go, man. It's the Fender from 1989, an EX2. And really cool, made in Japan guitar. Buddy, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Go buy some Ernie Ball strings. Okay, have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.